This is an Indian pipe, Monotropa uniflora. Now these have just started to bloom out here at Roxbury Park. Well, actually I started seeing them last week, but you know what I mean. You may notice that there's no green on this flower whatsoever. That's because the plant is actually a parasite. It parasitizes mycorrhizal fungi that normally have a symbiotic relationship with trees, like the loblolly pine. And these fungi normally harvest nutrients out of the ground for the host tree in exchange for sugars from the tree, because fungi are much better at harvesting nutrients than flowering plants. So it's a win-win for both. There's some more across the street I'm going to show you. But the Indian pipe is one of several species of plants that exploit this symbiotic relationship. They form an association with the fungi in order to get free nutrients by fooling the fungi into thinking it's the tree. And while the tree continues to feed the fungi, the Indian pipe steals nutrients from the fungi. But then that doesn't explain how it's able to live completely underground without being able to photosynthesize. It completely lacks chlorophyll, so it can't even if it wants to. Well, you see, it also steals those same carbohydrates that the tree gives to the fungi from the fungi itself. So it indirectly steals carbohydrates from other flowering plants, while at the same time stealing nutrients from the fungi, who is supposed to receive those carbohydrates. Biology is truly amazing sometimes, that something like this can just work. There's a few more Indian pipes. You'll notice that they range from white to pink. And that really just depends on the plant. So, some are pure white, like we saw before. These right here are a lightish pink, but mostly white. And these back over here are nice and pink. So the pinkness may actually be carotenoid pigments produced by the Indian pipe when it becomes exposed to sun, and it's probably not inherent to the flower until after it's been out for a little while. These look like they've just emerged in the last couple of days. So they don't have any carotenoid pigments produced, if that's what it is. Because carotenoid pigments are something that plants produce in order to prevent their cells from being damaged from sunlight. There may also be some anthocyanins in there too, but it looks a bit too pure red for that, in my opinion. And these Indian pipes, this clump right here, the one over here, and that clump I just showed before, are parasitizing a mycorrhizae that's associated with this domestic azalea. I don't know what species of domestic azalea, but it's definitely not a regular native one. Whereas the other ones across the street were parasitizing, off of the mycorrhizae associated with a loblolly pine. There is a closely related species in Monotropa, which is called pine sap. I forget the specific epithet, that specializes with a mycorrhizae that associates with pine trees. So, but I think those are mostly found in the Piedmont, and I'm here in the coastal plain. So I don't know if I'll find any. This is just such a beautiful flower and beautiful example of specialization at work. Well, here's one more Indian pipe. I wasn't going to film it, but then just over here, there's a little eastern fence lizard sunning himself on a cool morning. They're a widespread species, but I rarely ever see them, mostly because of their great camouflage, and because they like to laze around like that. So that was just a little bonus segment.